Welcome to A Taste of AZ podcast, where we interview everyone from James Beard award-winning chefs to local mixologists, winemakers, breweries, and so much more. We've got an awesome episode lined up for you today. But before we get into that, head to atasteofaz.com so you can subscribe to our quarterly magazine and email newsletter to find all of the best places to eat and drink around town. Don't forget to follow us on social media. Now let's get into the episode.
Finally, my man, Matt Farrow.
Farrow, yeah.
Matt Farrow.
Yeah.
Iconic cocktail. The man, the myth, the legend, the tall fella.
The tall fella. Tall drink of water.
The tall drink of water.
Being from the Midwest, I was called that a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have a glass of water
And
here.
I've got a little glass of water for a tall glass of water.
From Arizona Wilderness. We're at Miracle Mile. Thank you. Shout out to them. Shout out to Frank for letting us record this here. Sure. We're going to get into why here in a little bit, but iconic cocktail. Seeing your stuff everywhere, seeing your stuff at cocktail bars, on menus, at shops. You're at Urbana, right?
Yeah.
Urbana's one of our,
Urbana has been such, not to cut you off, but Urbana has been such a great partner for us since like almost day one.
Yeah.
Brian and Anna are amazing. I'm so happy for the success. I mean, 3 locations in Arizona, 1 in Kansas. And they're just the most down to earth people. They just had their warehouse sale last weekend. Went out there to kind of chat with them and stuff, and they're just the greatest. So if you don't know Urbana, you're missing out. Please check it out. They are not only fantastic people, but their stuff is great. For
sure. And that I love the Scottsdale quarter location. Those are my girls there. They sell the hell out of our books.
That's awesome.
They're the biggest advocates for our books. So we love you guys. And I don't want to throw this out there just yet, but why not? I want to do a gift box, like a holiday gift box, like curated by A Taste of AZ, only available at Urbana, featuring some of our stuff and some amazing products, which will include iconic cocktail.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
I think that, they are so the sweet spot, and they have their selection is so like perfectly curated.
Yeah.
To be like that really great, like sort of like just iconic. Arizona gift box. So yeah, I think it's a great idea. I love it.
Yeah. Let's get it rolling, man.
Yeah.
Let's get it rolling.
This is how you manifest shit.
For sure, dude. Hell yeah. Well, Matt, thanks for joining, man. I know we've been working at this for a while. I've known you for several years, and it's been really cool. The first time I met you was at the name is blanking me right now. It's where Outlaw Distillery is now. Adventurous Stills.
Oh, yeah.
You did a thing at Adventurous Stills a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I've been following you ever since, man. And not only a fan of your products, but a fan of you.
Thanks.
You're a cool dude. We had a fun
you.
time together on the radio station promoting our festival last year.
That was fun.
We got asked some pretty inappropriate questions, but I think we handled it well.
I think so too. I think we're pros.
Yeah.
And I love a good inappropriate question. I'm a Gemini, so I have 2 sides, and one is very, I was raised in a small town in Missouri.
Yeah.
I was raised Southern Baptist. First Baptist. My bad.
Oh,
First
man,
Baptist.
we're not
I know.
into that
I
either.
know. We're not going to that. So I have that very proper side. I got and then I have the the very inappropriate side, which I like to explore every once in a while.
You have to, man.
Yeah.
We all have both sides, right?
Exactly.
It's the yin and the
sure.
yang.
Yeah.
Well, Matt, so you grew up in Missouri.
Yeah.
Were you on this path to making amazing cocktail mixers from that first day?
I used to tell people no. Like, I don't know where this came from. Because I moved to Colorado when I was like 22.
Okay.
And that's where I really kind of dove into like the food scene, was in Denver. But I look back and, I was an 80s child. We were sort of feral. We kind of took care of ourselves.
For sure.
And I remember one of my earliest memories is climbing up on the counter and opening up the spice rack, and I wanted to make barbecue sauce. So I started with ketchup and just grabbed every little thing I could out of the spice rack, including Parmesan cheese out of the refrigerator, because why not?
Innovator, man. You were an innovator.
And I would just mix stuff up when I was a kid, like all the time, and I didn't really think about it until I started like really thinking about it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I was on this path, but I've always enjoyed playing around with flavor. It's kind of like some kids make mud pies, I guess.
Yeah.
And I made barbecue sauce with oregano and Parmesan cheese.
Man, like I think we need to bring that back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. We'll call it kid sauce.
Kid sauce. Kid sauce. I love it, dude. I love it. Well, I feel like sometimes that not having that barrier of preconceived notions of like, oh, no one's ever done that. Well, great. I'll be the first one to put that in there.
For sure.
You know,
Yeah.
It allows you to be unique and explore. You know, you don't have to follow this rigid path of oh, it needs to have this, this, and this in it.
Yeah.
You want to throw Parmesan cheese in there?
Yeah.
Do it.
Throw some cheese in that shit.
Hell yeah, dude! Always. That's a. Dude, I was my friends of ours. We went to Hawaii with them several years ago, and we'd been drinking all day, and my friend he's a good cook, and he's making like this sauce for this teriyaki chicken, and it was just the sauce, it was a little watery. I'm like, dude, let's throw a craft single in there.
Oh, nice.
Threw a craft single. It did not work. Like it did not.
Man, I was really hoping that was like that was the secret, and now it's like everywhere it goes viral because people are throwing an American single in their teriyaki and it fixes it.
For sure. I was expecting, it's going to make it into this creamy thing. It didn't. It didn't work that way. But you know what? Check that box. Now I know.
Now you know.
Now I know.
That's how you learn things.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
They're not all winners.
No, most of them aren't. Right. That's the whole key. But if you're failing enough, that means you're pushing yourself.
Yeah,
right.
You're trying. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you moved to what caused you to move from Missouri to Colorado?
To Colorado. So I spent my freshman year at Missouri State University.
Okay.
And met a buddy who was from Oklahoma, so we both grew up kind of small, Midwest, kind of Western type stuff. And he graduated and moved to Colorado, and I dropped out of school, or I dropped out of my 4-year college, went back home and went to community college.
Okay.
Because I was partying too much.
Sure.
And I think it happens.
Yeah.
But he moved to Colorado, and he was like, "Dude, this is amazing out here. Like, you got to come check it out." I was working at a Tex-Mex restaurant.
Okay.
At the next town over from where I grew up, and I was like, I'm not going to do anything. I went to JUCO. Like, I brought my grades up, which is great. I know I'm not an idiot, but I don't know what I want to do.
Sure.
So I packed up my car and I drove to Colorado, and I literally had nothing other than what I fit in my 1998 Dodge Intrepid.
Nice, dude.
So I moved to Colorado and got a job as a telemarketer, which I'm very apologetic for.
Yeah.
But I was also a busser at a Fox restaurant, as a matter of fact.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I went from being a busser at that restaurant to being the GM of that restaurant eventually.
Okay. I didn't know I didn't know he had restaurants in Colorado.
Bloom in Broomfield, Colorado was the first restaurant that wasn't in Tucson, as a matter of fact. There were 2 in Tucson and then 1 in Broomfield, and then he came to Phoenix.
Okay.
Weird path, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I would say most people, I assumed, and I didn't know he started, I thought that he started he did start in Tucson, but I always thought it was like Phoenix, and then, you go to Nashville and you're like, wait, shit, there's a Sam Fox restaurant here?
It's weird.
Blanco in Nashville's not the same.
No?
No. Nachos, dude, those nachos, the Blanco nachos, hands down, and haters are gonna hate, but
what else are they gonna do?
Exactly. But dude, those nachos are incredible. We went to the Blanco in Nashville, and just wasn't the same.
No,
I think maybe the Nashville crowd has a different taste.
Sure.
So they but still beautiful place.
Yeah.
Big fan of what Sam Fox does.
They've got the chicken. They got the Nashville chicken. They don't get good nachos too.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You only get so much.
For sure. You want good chicken, hot chicken, Nashville.
Yeah.
You want nachos?
You come to Arizona.
Come on out, man. Come on out. Yeah.
Go where it lives. You know?
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. Like, people don't think, Nashville, nachos.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. People don't think, Arizona, bourbon. Right?
Yeah.
They don't think about that.
No.
We've got some good whiskeys here.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
We're at AZ Wilderness. We just saw AZ Distilling get rolled in.
Oh, nice.
Good, big fans of them.
Yeah.
Obviously, Whiskey Delbach are. I sing their praises all the time. We have a really great working relationship, but even if we didn't, I was a fanboy long before they finally agreed to okay, we'll work with you.
Yeah.
You've been around long enough, and you've stood the test of time. Let's do some stuff. So,
nice.
Big fans. And just some of the coolest stuff, like desert scotch, essentially, That's pretty badass.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. When I try to impress somebody, they're like, oh, what's something unique here? Like, I got friends coming to town, I'm like, dude, you got to try Delbach. And Suncliff too. I love Suncliff.
Suncliff is great.
Yeah.
Suncliff's great. Yeah. Met those guys right when they first started as well. And I was like, man, you guys your bottle's beautiful, but what's inside is just as beautiful.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you get to try. I mean, I'm sure you've got the full range of kind of the inside track into what spirits or what's going on here in Arizona with the spirits.
I try to. I wear a lot of hats, and right now the hat I'm wearing is a little bit more of sales and marketing and social media and stuff. So if you're following our social media and you're wondering why it's taken such a left turn, you're looking at it.
That's the guy that's responsible.
Doing
for
my
that.
best. Doing my best. I'm that little mouse, churning butter in that cream. I'm just doing my best.
You're doing a good job, man.
Thanks.
You are, dude. You're like you're. I mean, these are long games, right? Like, I've been at this for like 10 years now, but I'm like, feel like I'm just getting started, right? And how long when did you launch Iconic?
10 years.
Hell yeah, dude.
10 years in March.
Nice,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, it's a 10-year club.
Yeah.
There's a lot of us.
For sure.
Yeah, it's interesting. You start talking to people and they're like, it's our 10 year. And I'm like, nah, get out of here. Me too.
Yeah. It's either 10 or 6 at this point, right? Because
Okay.
a lot of people started at COVID.
For sure.
Right.
Which is honestly, I mean, there's so many, obviously, I don't think we need to talk about the things that weren't great, but I think all the things that were great that came out of, everything getting shut down is kind of amazing. I think when you really take a step back and look at it and like the sort of the grand scheme of so many people like really just found their passion or decided this is what I'm going to do, or I can put my mind to something and make it happen. I think a lot of people are just scared to do it when like, well, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, so I might as well try. And it's like, man, just think if you did that every day.
For sure.
Just think if you did that every day and you didn't wait for like a pandemic to tell you what you had to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's really interesting. It's kind of inspiring, again, if you can just like not look at the negative stuff.
For sure. Yeah, exactly. Just like blinders. Right?
Exactly.
Have some blinders on, right? Rose-colored glasses. All right. So you're in Denver. Did you say Denver or just Colorado?
Yep,
okay.
Denver. Yep.
Denver. Working for this Fox restaurant. What brings you to Phoenix?
So I came to Phoenix via San Diego, actually.
Okay.
So a girlfriend at the time was from the Los Angeles area, wanted to move back to California after she graduated from CU. I'd been in Colorado for a while. I was like, sure, let's check out Southern California, but I'm not interested in Los Angeles. What else you got for me?
Yeah.
And her grandmother lived in San Diego, and I was like, sounds way better. So we did San Diego for a little bit. Job market wasn't great. I started bartending, which is fairly easy, not the easiest, but I was bartending. Didn't love it out there, but it was more about the situation, not the place itself.
Sure.
And then she got a job in Phoenix, and so I had been here when I worked for Sam Fox or Fox Restaurants. I came here for our GM conferences, so I had a little bit of understanding of Phoenix, and I was like, it's kind of cool, and like, why not? Like, I'm ready to try something else. So came out here for that. We separated shortly after I arrived, but my first job was at Windsor with Upper Projects.
Okay.
So I rolled in with a semi-impressive bar resume, and they put me behind the bar, and quickly was asked, like, what do you think about this bar program? How can you help streamline it? And I was like, well, I have some thoughts. And so, me, and it wasn't just me, but me, Brent Karlichek, and some of the other bartenders that were there, Matty Helen, who's I think he's in New York now, but we kind of took a look at the bar program, and we just like revamped it and made it a little more streamlined. Yeah. And so that was a lot of fun. But that's kind of where I cut my teeth as far as like, okay, how do I like the system side of the creativity, know? So you have your creative, like this is a really fun flavor, and then understanding costs, So it's like, this is really cool when you throw these ingredients down and you cost it out and you're like, well, we have to charge $30 for this drink, and it wasn't 2026 then, so people weren't going to pay it. So we're like, all right, what else can we do? How do we? So it was really fun, like engineering sort of practice to try to figure out how we can get what we wanted and still hit within budget of what we needed to do to be responsible.
Sure.
And it's an interesting thought to think of being responsible for like a product in that. If people really love it, your responsibility then, not only to yourself and everything else, is to make sure that you can sustain, so it's like I have to be smart about what I'm doing, because if I just go crazy with this, it's going to go away, and not only am I going to lose it, but all these people that are really in love with it are going to lose something that they're really passionate about too. So it's an interesting dichotomy of like, I want to win, but I want everyone who's really excited about this to also still have that thing they love.
Sure.
So it's a little bit of responsibility on all sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that would be, I think it would be, I don't want to say it would be easy, right? But you create something, barbecue sauce with Parmesan cheese, right? But you're absolutely right. Those are the things people don't think about. It's like, all right, well, if we want to put this in there, if we're putting honey or something in there, like ching, ching, all those things start adding up, right? And then how do you repeat that? How do you repeat it on a busy night, slammed night, multiple different people making it, and being consistent, right? Because you're like, dude, this is the best cocktail I've ever had. my friends, come on, come, we're going to go. And then you're like, oh man, this is different.
Right.
Matt's not making it, so it's different.
Right.
you
And
know?
that's kind of where Iconic was sort of born too, is
Yeah.
being in that environment and then having to streamline and systemize everything so that it was super consistent,
Yeah.
especially the ingredients that you're making. I mean, that bottle of bourbon comes in, you're relying on, those master distillers that they did their job.
Yeah.
But when I'm putting something like a honey syrup in, it's like, well, did we do it right? Did we, did it separate because the water wasn't hot enough?
Yeah.
Did we not use enough honey? Is it watered down? Did we use not enough water? And it's like really sticky, sweet and weird. So there was a consistency aspect to it. And that's kind of where Iconic was born, with people asking me, customers, like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? And I'm like, well, this is what we make to make this cocktail. And it's like, oh, well, how do you make the cocktail? And I tell them how to make the cocktail, and I get to the part where it's like, and then you make the syrup, and this is how you make the syrup. And they're like, done, don't care anymore, I'll just come see you. I'm like, oh, okay. And so it's like, cool, there's two things. There's one, like, we can make something super consistent so that you can have, what you're getting. And then just like, let's tell you how to use it. So we have like a simple ratio for the like all the mixers, and it's just a starting point, but it's 2 to 1. Start there. 2 ounces of spirit, 1 ounce of Iconic, and it works for non-alcoholic as well. Which we'll probably chat about that a little more. But the world isn't drinking as much. I'm on an indefinite break myself. I know that I think you said 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And so everybody drinks something, though. That's kind of what I always I still do farmers markets, and people are like, I don't do this, I don't do that. And I'm like, well, everybody drinks something, so.
Sure.
How can we make it a little better?
Yeah.
But yeah, that consistency aspect, and that's kind of how we sell to bars and restaurants. Is do you want to trust a prep cook? Do you want to trust your bartender, or do you want to trust me and one other guy who've been doing this for 10 years? And that's all we do.
For sure.
Like we're consistent AF. That's what we do.
Yeah.
A real quick reminder, head over to atasteofaz.com and subscribe to our email newsletter. Also, subscribe to A Taste of AZ magazine and get it shipped right to your door. Now let's get back into today's episode.
So we have a bunch of like reviews, and they're almost all 5-star.
Yeah.
And I've been told, like, I've had independent people kind of tell me like, hey, you really need to post all your reviews. And I'm like, homie, I do. Like, and I think there's 1-star review that I've left up on purpose. And it wasn't anything about the mixers. I think it was, we used to offer a brand of like insurance for like our shipments. And they gave us a 1-star because their package didn't break, so they didn't need the insurance. I was like, wait, let me understand this. You're mad because you paid $1 for insurance that you didn't need because your package didn't break. All right. I'll take that one. I'm going to post it.
Yeah.
So I mean anyway, the point being is like reading those reviews is great. I'm sure we haven't made everyone super happy.
Yeah.
I've definitely had people reach out independently and saying, hey, something's a little off, and we always take care of it. But yeah, by and large, that's, like I said, kind of going back to it's entertainment essentially.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, that's why people are going out to that's why we go out, right? Like you said, like I can make some great stuff at home. And I enjoy that most of the time, but when I'm going out, I want to have a great experience. I want to have great service. I want even at this point, like there's so many good mocktails, that like the presentation of that, right? Like it's beautiful. And it's, you want to be kind of pampered a little bit, right? Like that's the whole point, is like me and my wife can sit there and just talk, and we can just complain about the kids, and then someone
it's therapy.
Yeah, for sure. So all right, so you're kind of you're understanding like kind of where these gaps are, or these needs, or where there'd be a benefit to have something like this, right? Mm-hmm. When did it click for you to be like, let's make something?
Well, it's interesting because I told this story recently, and I didn't realize how little I tell this story. But originally, it was just wanted to work for myself.
Okay.
And so the first idea was a soup truck,
okay,
and it was Iconic Soup.
Okay.
And then I was like, you know what? I don't want to buy a soup truck. I don't want to be on a soup truck. I don't want to do that
in Phoenix.
But I loved the name Iconic.
Yeah.
And so I was like, what else? And I was like, well, I know bartending. And so it just all kind of came out of an experience where people we did an event, and people didn't really care that we were trying to be bar caterers. They really were excited about the mixer that I had made. And I think the aha moment for me was when I told people that grenadine was made from pomegranate. And it just blew people's mind. And I was like, wow, that was such a throwaway nugget for me. And this person just like picked their jaw up off the floor when I told them that it wasn't cherry juice.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, there's also like this education piece that's really interesting because, and that's to your point, that's where it clicked, or that question. That's where it clicked, was like, oh, there's something here because there's a story in every bottle of the why. And then honestly, the way we designed the flavors was, there's basically 5 components to a well-made cocktail, but there's always sort of something herbal, and there's, you got sweet, sour, bitter, or herbal, and then you've got like water. So that's kind of where we were, where all of these kind of were built from. And so just taking that little bit of knowledge and being able to put it in every bottle, tell people how to use it, why to use it, and then like the story behind it.
Yeah.
We're selling stories, and those are always the fun things. Like you go to, like, to your point, going, like, being pampered, and you get a really great mocktail, the 0 proof cocktail somebody puts down, and it's really well put together, and you're like, man, like that was really thoughtful. And so that somebody put a lot of, like, there's a story behind all of that.
Yeah.
And that's for me. I always want to know the why. I'm like, ooh, why'd you do that? Why was that choice made?
Yeah.
Because then you get bought in too, and you kind of get to put yourself in like the mind of the creator, which I always think is super cool.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because it's, for me, I mean, that's really what got me interested in everything from the beginning. Like with craft beer, was the story of the places. Like, not only the story of the people behind it, right? Like, oh, this guy was, he had his own, real estate appraisal company, and he just didn't want to do it anymore, but he loved home brewing, right? And he loved having his friends over, and, they would have, block parties, and everybody would be like, hey, are you making your beer? And that story, like when people start to say, I'm like, like, hey, what made you do that? They're like, okay, so 1994. I'm like, some people are like, oh my God, just tell me how you made it. Where I'm like, oh shit, okay, let's buckle in.
And then you put yourself there. You're like, okay, 94. What was I doing? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like what I cared then, or like what was, I think that's part of the story too. Is like, you always, at least for me, I start relating to like. And that's why I get sucked in, is like I relate to me, and so I get brought closer to like that warm center of like, okay, what? Tell me your story. Like, I'm bringing myself into it because I want to know more too.
Yeah.
Not that there aren't boring stories out there, but to your point, you start with, I mean, at least at the beginning, at the beginning, you're like, okay, I'm in, and then you're like, oh wait, that was it, all right. But no, usually there's something good there.
Yeah. Well, the education part of it, right? Like I tend to, with what we do, like really, it's like, what problem does your business solve? And you should have, I guess you should know that before, but it took us years, or at least for me for it to be like, oh shit, there's so many places to eat and drink. We help people figure out where to eat and drink. Right. But sometimes I think with us being so close to it, we assume that everybody knows Fire at Will. We assume everybody knows across the pond, right? But they don't. Like, people are like, oh, where's a good place to go? I'm like, oh, you've been to Wren and Wolf? They're like, no, what's that? I'm like, oh shit, about to blow your mind, right? The pomegranate, cherry juice, like those little things that we kind of take for granted, that like, oh, everybody knows it. Well, yeah, everybody here now today, like before we're opening, behind this bar does, but those people out there, they don't, right? And then they're going to tell people like, oh, sometimes, claim that as your own. Like, you're educating somebody, oh, did you know that, this is actually pomegranate juice, not cherry juice? And their friends are like, whoa, holy shit.
Well, and then you can go down the road of like, well, do you want to know why it's called grenadine? Like pomegranate, it's like the French word for pomegranate is basically the word grenadine for grenade, because pomegranates look like a grenade.
Look at this guy.
Yeah.
We're all taking notes
here,
man.
I know. It's so weird. But and then the other side of like the people outside of this room don't know about like, the industry stuff. I'm fascinated by, people that do coding, or like a mechanic. Like, tell me what's wrong with my car. I mean, I can change a tire if I have to. I don't want to.
Yeah.
But like, tell me what's wrong with my car and why. I mean, and it fascinates me
for sure.
So I think that it's interesting to think that everyone is existing in their own little bubble, and it's kind of cool to be like, I know a lot about my bubble. I don't necessarily know about what you're doing, but I think it's cool that people have no idea about like restaurant stuff, that ask questions or where to go, but they're still excited about it.
For sure.
And I think that's the really, really cool thing about being in this industry, is I don't know how many people go and like want to watch a mechanic work just because they think it's cool.
Yeah.
But there's people that want to go and sit at the bar to watch a bartender work because they think it's cool. Or like,
absolutely.
I love sitting at sushi bars and watching this. Oh my gosh, it's there's a couple places in Denver. Not that I haven't been to good places in Phoenix, but there was a couple good places in Denver where I was just like, this is this is, I mean, no one's saying a word and
Yeah.
everything's getting done. You know, and I'm
Yeah.
like, this is incredible.
For sure.
This is incredible.
When then they're like, what I think is really cool about food and beverage is like you're creating a work of art that will immediately be enjoyed,
Mhm.
right? Like you're not working months on this painting that, you know, like someone's going to buy it. You won't be able to, you know, you might see them get excited for buying this piece of work, but once it's in their house and they're show like that, you don't see all that. But as a bartender and you're mixing this, you can see, like that was always my favorite part of diners, drive-ins, and dives was watching the chef watch guy take the bite.
Yeah.
And the joy on their face, and they just that's everything to them, right? Is to be like, this is my finished product, this is my masterpiece, here you go,
Yeah.
enjoy, and then immediately get that feedback.
Yeah, and I mean it's like literally like it's physical reaction.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
mean, one way or another, there's going to be a reaction. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
it's like performance art or stand up comedy. I mean, you're getting
Yeah.
that instant gratification, and it is a rush. I mean, there is a certain sense, and I think that's, you know, I mean, I think bartenders, they do it for the craft, they do it because they get excited, but I also think that there's a part of them, it has to be. I would imagine it was for me that
Yeah.
like we make something really great, especially when someone watches you do it. One of my
Yeah.
favorite things was getting my ass kicked at brunch in Windsor,
Yeah.
and just being in the well and just making cocktails as fast as I could. And anybody who sat in that well, when I got done, and it was literally like I'm dropping a towel, like I got my towel on my waist and I'm done. I just take it, drop it on the bar, I turn around, like I'm leaving, I'm done.
Yeah.
And people would just like look at me and they're like, that was amazing, you know? And I mean, it's not
Yeah.
just me, anybody that works that well and
sure.
wells across the country and everything. It's not specific about me. It's that position doing that thing in that sort of environment. And you watch it for a couple hours, you're impressed. And,
Yeah.
and it is, it's almost like everybody in that position, when you walk away, like whoever's watching should just kind of stand up and give a little applause. Cause it is,
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun for whoever's doing it. It's like people who run the marathon. I'm sure they have a good time and they also feel like hell when they're done.
For sure. Yeah, exactly.
And
You
I'm
need a
not comparing
shower.
it to being a marathon, but it's also it's physically draining for sure.
In many ways.
Yeah,
in many
yeah,
ways. Yeah. So all right. So the juices are flowing,
Yeah.
right? You like Iconic. You were gonna do a soup truck. Which I still think you should. I think you should.
Honestly, dude, people in Arizona will drink soup. They don't care how hot it is.
Yeah.
Give me that soup.
For sure.
And honestly, my thought was like, you put it in like a coffee cup, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you're busy. Everyone wants a handheld something. It's like, cool, here's your soup, and just drink it out of your coffee cup, and you're on your way.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I still got that in my back pocket. If anybody wants to fund it, let me know.
All right.
Yeah.
Anybody?
I own the trademark to Iconic Cocktail. I can
Yeah.
license it out.
Yeah. So what changed? Like what did you like? Where did you go from there? Like
So I mean, it was like, let's try this. We did the Phoenix Flea.
what year was this approximately?
2016.
Oh, 20. Yeah, 10 years.
Yeah. And we have some stuff that says 2015, and that was when like we basically had the idea.
Okay.
And we originally first sold like Girl Scout cookies. They're little sheets that people would fill out, and then we would go and we like literally just made all the stuff for like
yeah.
the Christmas season for 2015. So that was how it all got started. So we have a bunch of stuff that says established in 2015. The LLC happened or the DBA happened in 2016.
Okay.
But yeah, so Phoenix Flea got in, and then we sold a ton, and I was like, okay, well, we didn't sell everything. What else can we do with this leftover product? Applied to get into the Uptown Farmers Market, got in, like, cool, I probably need to make a little more. I probably don't have enough for an entire market or two. But that was the next step, and that went pretty good. And then it just like snowballed. We just kept, I quit my job 3 months in. Do not recommend.
Yeah.
Highly, highly, highly do not recommend. But when, you're used to living off like a bartender's salary, you're like, oh, I can figure this out.
Yeah.
Cause it's not much of a salary.
Yeah.
And then, it just kind of kept going. And then eventually the idea was, we kind of came to a crossroads of like, do we keep this really small, or is it something that can grow? And, my former partner and I, she wanted to keep it smaller, and I thought I wanted to grow it. So I tried to grow it. And, during the pandemic was when it really grew, which was not what we were expecting. Literally had a meeting. At the time I had like 5 or 6 staff members, and I was like, I don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to figure this out together.
Yeah.
And then people just like, the doors blew off.
Yeah.
I mean, we grew in 2020. We grew like 70%. 2021, we grew like another 30% on top of that 70%.
Yeah.
And then, then there was like the e-commerce like recession a little bit.
Okay.
So we definitely felt that, but that was kind of where we're like, okay, this thing has legs. You know, we're kind of like catering to the masses. And then it was like, okay, how do we get in bars and restaurants? And again, to your point, solving the problem. You know, we wanted to be super consistent. We wanted to be everything we do is like, we've been super clean since day one. We've always catered to people who didn't drink alcohol. So I like to think that we were a little bit ahead of the curve, not knowing why the curve would be, but it's like, you know, I mean, if you read our label, like, you know, everything that's in it, like you can like, there's no questions, you know, it's like, yeah, I have nothing
whole
artificial.
lavender flowers, whole butterfly pea flowers, and pure cane sugar. That's it. That's what goes into the lavender.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I mean, I'm not a chemist, I'm
Yeah.
a bartender.
Yeah.
This is what we do for bar prep.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
There's a bunch of molecular mixology out there where people are doing crazy stuff, and more power to them. I'm not doing that and putting it in a bottle. So we're just real stuff. Read the label, and that's kind of what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons that that we've been popular is because it's, you know, we are what we say we are.
Yeah. Well, in these days too. I mean, you know, the not, you know, people cutting down on drinking. There's so many, as with everything, right? There's so many different factors, right? But one of them is health. I mean, that's one of the main reasons that I quit was just, I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm 45. At this time, I was 45. I'm like, I need to get myself a little healthier. You know, I want to be around for my daughter's weddings and my grandkids and all this stuff. So it was a health choice for me. And my wife's always been very good at, she's reading labels, and even she's like, I'm like, man, this Waterloo gives me a headache for some reason. She's like, there's natural flavors in there. She's like, I bet you that is a, you know, so even just little things like those trick words too, right? Natural flavors.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what the hell does that mean? That's a whole nother, you know, beast in itself.
The food and beverage, like the FDA stuff here is kind of fast and loose.
Yeah.
And, I mean, knowing what like behind the curtain sometimes is not always the best. Like,
Yeah.
you don't always want to know how the sausage is made.
No.
But you know, trust your butcher.
Yeah,
You
for
know?
sure. Yeah.
And so think of me as your butcher, and I'm not gonna give you anything that's gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, for sure. I mean, like anything that says like malt beverage, like that is, you don't want to drink that. You don't wanna, yeah. I mean, because there's a lot of like the seltzer stuff that's like, you know, the malt, and it's like, oh god, like it's like the worst of the worst. Like you're just you might as well just like beat your head against a wall,
Like a buzz ball or something like that.
Oh my god, I see those empty things laying around, and now they have ones that are like the size of a cannonball, or bigger, and I'm just like, my god, like I don't know how those people sleep at night.
Yeah,
they're not.
They're like something's that neon blue.
I mean, like the owners, but yeah. A huge pile of cash. They're fine.
Yeah, for sure. No, so like I mean, so the pandemic, you know, that time in 2020 and 2021, things start really growing for you guys. At that point, what flavors did you have? So you had the pomegranate.
No, so it was we call it classic grenadine.
Or grenadine.
It's the base of our cranberry time, which is our holiday seasonal, basically October through December.
Okay.
Historically, our by far our most popular seasonal. So, I mean, when the prickly pear became a seasonal, we had at the time, let's see, we had lime leaf, we had prickly pear, ginger, spiced honey, cascara vanilla, salted cocoa nib. That might have been it. And then we had, I mean, aside from the seasonal flavors.
Yeah.
So seasonals have always been like cranberry time, Meyer lemon balm, grapefruit fleur de sal is a signature now. So we found a local juice company that has like local real red grapefruits.
Ooh, nice.
And we can get that juice year round. So it's one of my favorites. So that one's year round now. And then because of, honestly, we had a quinine supply issue trying to make which is what makes tonic.
Okay.
It's tree bark.
Oh,
from
really?
South America. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's the reason. So quinine is the tree itself is called the fever tree, which is where that brand gets its name.
Yeah.
And it helps with inflammation. So like malaria. So like British soldiers, that's why they drink gin and tonic, is because they had to drink their tonic, and they're like, well, I'm going to put some gin in this.
For sure.
Because I'm not drinking that tonic. It tastes like bark. That's what it is. And so we had an issue during the pandemic with getting our quinine.
Okay.
So we got this stuff, and it was super, super bitter. And it was like, this is nothing like what we put in our lime leaf. So we had a bunch of it, and after the pandemic, that's where Orange Blossom was born, which is, I brought some today. It is our most versatile mixer, in my opinion. I love it, especially on me not drinking right now. I put that in everything.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I love, tea is my new favorite thing. I love herbal tea. I cold brew my tea, and the Orange Blossom goes in almost all of it.
Nice.
It's just such a subtle flavor. It's not super sweet. I love we use an orange flower water, so it's really aromatic. And yeah, it's just, I mean, none of them are super sweet, so it doesn't it's not like a sugar bomb.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you are drinking, it goes great in whiskey. Make it like as an old fashioned. You can use it as like a non-alcoholic triple sec. So if you're making like a non-alcoholic margarita, or if you just don't want to keep a bottle of triple sec around and you're drinking a margarita, throw some orange blossom in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I love your labels too.
Thanks.
I mean, first of all, the iconic cocktail logo is iconic. But like, you're very, and we'll get into this a little bit, but you're very educational.
Yeah.
like I mean, on your label
I'm
here,
an educationist.
It's educationist. There you go. But it's like you've got the ingredients in there. You've got, this is best with. Try this and this. This is how many this makes. Here's a recipe. Like, I think that's great because sometimes with these you just don't really know what right. And I think on your website you have a lot more recipes, right?
Yeah, we got about 150 searchable recipes on the website,
which is awesome. But even if you don't if you're you're in the spur of the moment, got friends over, like, oh man, you want to try this, you got some options right here, like right on the bottle.
Yeah.
Like, you crack this thing open, and I love that. Simple
for sure. And I mean, it's a lot of this is due to the farmers market, man. You can't, it's like no better market research than sitting in front of people week after week after week, having them try something and tell you what they like and what they don't like about it. And some things you take with a grain of salt, and because they're the general public.
For sure.
And some things you're like, oh, that's a really good idea. I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah.
And so, getting asked so many questions, we've tried to refine this product over, the years when it made sense to not go against, what we're doing. And I mean, honestly, one of the biggest changes was the label itself as far as the material. I was really fond of this paper material because of the way it felt.
Yeah.
Very, very beholden to it because of the way it felt. I loved it. But it would just wrinkle to all hell in the fridge.
Yeah.
As soon as it got some moisture to it, it just looked like it was 1,000 years old. And I'm like, we opened that last week.
Yeah.
So people were posting these beautiful cocktails with this old shriveled up bottle, and I was like, oh my God, I can't deal with this anymore.
Yeah.
So we moved to it's called BOP is the material, but it's it's bulletproof, man. You can wipe it down, you could soak it in water, you can do all kinds of stuff, and it's going to stay on the bottle. It doesn't smear, it doesn't get wrinkly in the fridge, and it just makes it look better. So I was like, I really want paper because paper's paper, know, and so I mean, there's certain things where it's like, all right, this is just makes the product better overall. Yeah. It's not what I want to do, but it's better it's better overall. So
sure.
Those have been things again, farmers market, going back to to your point of well, there's so many things here. It's that one was, I really struggled with that one.
Letting go of that one.
Yeah, that was a tough one. But it's a better product overall now.
Yeah. I always say I don't want to. I want to get it right. I don't want to be right.
Yeah,
right? Obviously I like to be right, but my point is let's get this right. If I'm wrong in that, it is what it is,
Yeah. What do you want at the end of the day?
Yeah, exactly. All right. So what is your consistent lineup at this point?
So the consistent lineup, I'll do my best. So
putting you on the spot.
Yeah. So lime leaf, spiced honey, prickly pear, orange blossom, lime leaf tonic, lavender flower, Cascara vanilla, sunshine sour, grapefruit fleur de sal.
Okay.
I think that's the consistent lineup.
Yeah.
Strawberry sage is our current seasonal, is our 10-year anniversary mixer, and then saffron peach sour will come in right after that.
Ooh.
I just talked to his name's Jonathan Manning. He runs Holiday Farms. That's the guy I get my mulberries from.
Okay.
And so we just spoke this past weekend. So mulberry rose will be coming back shortly. He's currently we get the Pakistan mulberries. They're really long, super sweet. They have a month, 2-week long grow spurt here in Arizona before the sun, which hasn't been too bad, but the birds get them and stuff. But so mulberry rose will come back. We're going to make a small run of mesquite date at some point. We're actually working with Delbach on something for that too.
Nice.
And then cranberry time comes back in the winter. So we have those are kind of the rotating seasonals, and then we have some small little the mesquite date's a really small batch. That being said, we are not going to be at our farmers markets over the summer in person. This is the first time we're taking time off.
Yeah.
And one of the things I wanted to talk about today was we are going to be hosting markets at our kitchen.
Oh, nice.
So we're going to open up our space at 7th Street in Dunlap.
Okay.
And basically from 9 to 1 on Saturdays, we're going to be there So you can come in and shop and get out of the heat after your farmer's market experience. You can
Yep.
come check us out.
Yep.
But also we're going to be doing some really small batch stuff. We haven't decided on the name, but basically we're going to be running some stuff that we've never done before in really small batches. Things like mojito, pina colada, that are just designed for like specific cocktails.
Sure.
And testing the waters there, and then we're going to be doing some RTDs as well. So some bottled up, ready to drink, non-alcoholic stuff.
Oh, nice.
That you can easily spike if you want.
Yeah.
But some stuff that we've never done before that we're able to kind of hand sell out of our space. So we're going to be doing that starting basically like the third week of May.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. 7th Street and Dunlap.
7th Street and Dunlap. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be posting about it. We'll have a link on our website and all that good stuff, and it'll be on our Instagram. We'll put a link in there too, like with directions and stuff. But yeah, super excited about that for many reasons. But one, I think it's going to be a really fun, like, it'll almost be like having our little mini bar. Like we'll get to talk about some stuff. We'll get to sample some stuff we haven't ever done before. And just really have an opportunity to really sort of like stretch out a little bit and see what we can do, because we're like literally in our kitchen and inviting people in.
Yeah. That's exciting, man.
Yeah.
I will be there.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
will be there.
Hell yeah.
Well, like, I think one of the cool things about this adventure that I'm having of not drinking has been made a lot easier by products like this, right? And we go to Local First Good Business Summit, I think it was, or the Good Food Summit in Tucson a couple years ago, and I came across filters.
Oh yeah.
PHILTERS for the folks out there. Google them, check them out. It's part of Maya Tea in Tucson, and they make these NA spirits, and they are incredible.
Yeah.
Like they are, like I tried them because I've had some of the, the more mass produced NA spirits. I'm like, this is like water with a little bit of, something, but it's just basically water. You try these filters and you're like, wow, they're incredible. So the last couple of festivals we've had, you've partnered up with filters to create some really incredible mocktails, but then you've also made some really good cocktails, right?
Sure.
Kind of here's a alcohol version, here's a non-alcohol version. So yeah, that filters combination that's incredible.
Oh yeah, for sure. Super excited. Like I went down, I talked to Manish, the owner, and super cool dude. First of all, like I love talking to that guy.
Yeah, he's very passionate.
He's so much fun.
Yeah.
Like not what I was expecting when I met the guy, and I was like, okay, this is awesome. I love this.
Yeah.
Toured the space, beautiful space. Really impressive operation in general. Then I got to try the product because I mean, obviously, Maya Tea is the bread and butter, and like this is kind of like like, okay, well, what else can we do type thing, and this is something that people want, like let's get it to them.
Yep.
And so tried the product, and I was like, man, I've tried, to your point, tried a lot of this, this is by far like the best. And yeah, the mocktails that they kind of came up with, which is great because that's another thing I love is like, here's this, what can you do with it? Like that's where the name came from, was like, it's not about me. It's not about the product. It's about you. What makes you iconic?
Yeah.
Make something iconic with this.
Yeah.
That's kind of the name.
I like that.
And so to see what other people do with it was really cool. So yeah, partnering with them at the events we've done is really, really cool. And honestly, I mean, it's literally 50-50, if not 60-40 of people that don't want to drink. Like they want something to drink, but not a drink,
For sure. Yeah.
And so being right next to them, like seeing how many of the non-alcoholic they're giving out, how many people come to us and they're like, do you have anything without alcohol in it? I'm like, I sure do.
Yeah.
And then obviously the people that want something to drink. But yeah, that part of it's been really, really cool and very interesting. And like, again, going back to like the market research, like we're so close to it because like we watch the trends come as like a storm.
Sure.
Not
Yeah.
in a bad way, but it's like, oh, what's that over the hill? And then it gets closer and closer and like, oh, it's pouring rain. And now we're in the thick of it. And it's kind of like everyone knows it's raining now, but it's like, oh, we saw it coming. You know, we saw the storm coming.
For sure.
And so it's really interesting to be that close to it all the time. And it puts us in a really good position to be able to share that knowledge. It's almost like we're telling people, hey, this is coming. This is what people want, or this is what we're hearing.
Yeah.
And it kind of like, well, it opens other people's minds. Like, well, why? Why is this happening? What is this thing? Which is really, really cool to kind of be like that conduit between people that are doing it. Cause I didn't start it. All I'm doing is kind of passing it from point A to point B.
Sure.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool. And then to your point about the filters. Yeah. It's really cool to see that product pop up, especially in Tucson, being local, all that good stuff.
Yeah. Branding. Their branding's on
it's great,
point too.
great. I love the name.
Yeah.
Like so I do my my mother's maiden name is Phillips with PH.
Okay.
So I love the PH stuff all the time because it's Farrow and Phillips, and that's actually like I do a bar consulting or beverage consulting, and it's Phillips Farrow is the name of that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun.
All PH?
No,
Just the real Phillips and the real Farrow.
The Egyptian Farrow.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, let's take a quick break and then
Sure.
and then we can wrap this up because there's some. I'm gonna rapid fire some stuff at you. Just want to give some people some ideas and quick break. All right. So you were talking about like you're running your social media now, right? You already apologized to people for that.
I did.
No need to apologize, Matt. Yeah, I'm sure you're doing a great job.
Doing my best.
Doing your best. One thing that really stands out, I'm going to say one thing, of many things that stand out about what you do in your product and you as a person, like I'm a fan. I love you as a person. Your products are great. My wife loves your products. I put the Cascara vanilla in my coffee all the time. Not all the time. I like to treat myself with, I can't be pounding that shit every day.
No,
I could.
We could.
Maybe I should.
I do. But I mean, I have limitless access essentially.
Yes,
so
yeah. But the education side of it too, like how much you know about, I mean, you're very, very intelligent guy, I can tell, and you're very passionate about what you do. And one way that I think is really cool that comes out is through your newsletter.
Yeah.
Like you do, what is the thing that you...
Matt Facts.
Matt Facts. All right. Yeah. Matt Facts. FAC. You should do Matt PHACTS.
Ooh, interesting.
Boom. I'm just nailing.
Yeah.
Remember, judge me for my
Somebody
good
write these
ideas. I know. Judge me for my good ideas, not my bad ones,
exactly,
Matt. Yeah.
Exactly. No, I like that.
So Matt Facts.
Yeah, Matt Facts. Yeah. So I mean, really quick, for better or worse, I've been known to give people facts that they didn't really want.
Yeah.
Like, actually, did you know this? And so we decided to kind of bottle it up and focus my energy. So every week, every Wednesday, I send out a newsletter, and it's basically whatever's kind of on my mind. Typically, it's going to be bar related. I've done a few, like I did one on salt.
Okay.
And I mean, all things salt, but then definitely tied it back into cocktails. I did one recently on Taco Tuesday because Taco or Cinco de Mayo happens to fall on Taco Tuesday.
Okay. Oh.
And so I was curious about the history of Taco Tuesday. So I did my research and I was like, this is way more interesting than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So cool. This is going to be my topic. So it's bar stuff. It's also just at least industry focused about things that I find interesting.
Yeah.
I would like to think I have a sense of humor in how I write. So it's nerdy, funny is the idea.
Okay.
And doing deep dives on things that people might not necessarily research on their own.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just my opinion on things. I did one on barware and kind of the alternatives to, like shakers and bar spoons, like using chopsticks instead of a bar spoon, using a mason jar instead of a shaker.
Oh.
So people who sell bar spoons and shakers probably didn't want to hear that.
For sure.
But my sister doesn't drink a lot, and I remember like part of where this came from is she texts me and she's like, "Hey, I don't have a shaker. What do I do?" And I was like, "Well, you're in Missouri still. I know you have a mason jar. Just use that."
Sure. Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, I hadn't thought of that." And I was like, "Yeah, here to help."
Yeah.
So yeah, those are kind of the fun little nuggets. I've done the one that just released was the Battle for Puebla, which is why we celebrate Cinco de Mayo.
Okay.
Yeah. So dove into that a little bit, and then a cocktail that we created to celebrate that.
Nice, man. So and you what is it? IconicCocktail.com?
Yeah. So if you go to our website, iconiccocktail.com, if you look at the very top, there's things like recipes and stuff like that, and shop. And then if you look to the far right, you'll see #MattFacts.
Okay.
And all you do is you plug in your email, you give us your first name, and then you'll get a confirmation email saying, hold on a second, are you sure?
Yeah.
Do you really want
sure
this?
About that?
You sure you want this? And then if you do some self-reflection and you click yes, then you'll get signed up, and we'll send you we'll send out Matt Facts almost every Wednesday. I think I've missed one in the last 3 months.
Okay.
Otherwise every Wednesday you get a little Matt Fact.
Tell us about Taco Tuesday. What is the story behind that?
So Taco Tuesday was interesting. So Taco Tuesday actually started, and it wasn't necessarily called Taco Tuesday, but it was on Tuesdays. And I cannot remember the name of the hotel, but it was in El Paso.
Okay. And
they were offering 3 tacos for 15 cents. On a Tuesday, but they didn't call it Taco Tuesday. Taco Tuesday actually came from, again, I can't remember the name of the restaurant, but it was in South Dakota. I remember that because that one spun me. I was like, South Dakota invented the phrase Taco Tuesday. Okay. But then Taco John's, which I was unfamiliar with. I had to Google Taco John's, and apparently there are several of them. My buddy lives in Montana, and apparently there's some in Montana, and I asked him about it, and he's like, it's okay.
Yeah. Well,
But-
my wife is from Minnesota.
Oh, so she's familiar.
She's very familiar with
Okay,
Taco
yeah.
John's.
I've never been to a Taco John's. I want to try it just because.
Yeah.
So Taco John's owned the rights to, or the trademark to Taco Tuesday, except for one joint in New Jersey. They actually trademarked it. So they trademarked it in '79.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if you're familiar with trademarks, but you have to renew them. The first renewal is 5 years. The second is 10.
Okay.
They let that 10 years slip.
The Jersey place did.
The Jersey place
Okay.
did. Taco John's had their eyes on this trademark, and as soon as it lapsed, they swooped in and took it.
Oh.
So they snatched it from New Jersey. But because New Jersey had been using it, they're like, well, statewide, you have no jurisdiction here.
Yeah.
So 49 states, Taco John's owned the trademark for Taco Tuesday. The Jersey joint owned it in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And just for New Jersey, and then Taco John's everywhere else. And then Taco Bell in 2019, I believe, 2018. I need to read my own article. But they basically they kicked the door down, and they're like, no, you don't. This is too ubiquitous. This is too everyone. Their phrasing was basically like Taco Tuesday belongs to everyone who makes, enjoys, and is a taco enthusiast.
Yeah.
Paraphrasing.
Yeah.
And the court finally said, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Like, no one can own this phrase. And Taco Tuesday became, free to everyone.
Yeah.
Someone reminded me that LeBron James actually came in and tried to re-trademark it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
So it didn't turn out
actually,
successfully.
Yeah,
for
no.
you?
Jim Bob from Worth reached out, and he's like, "Did you remember when when LeBron James tried to do that?" And I was like, I sure don't, but that's an awesome extra
Yeah.
nugget on top of that.
I thought you were going to say Jim Bob shut it down.
Yeah,
Like,
Jim Bob, he reached out to LeBron and said, "Hey, no."
He took a charge. Yeah,
Yeah.
He took one for the team.
Exactly. But yeah, I had no idea that Taco Tuesday had so much going on. I just thought it was
Yeah.
some marketing thing that happened, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And no, there's way more to it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's fair. So that's just one of the nuggets you'll get from
Yeah.
Matt Fax. I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah.
So what's in the future for you guys? You're opening up your storefront, or the from 9 to 1 on Saturdays,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
On
yeah.
7th Street in Dunlap.
Mhm.
What else? And well, like, I don't think we really talked about this, but like, is there a way for people to see where they can, like, you can come to Arizona Wilderness, obviously, and get a cocktail or a mocktail with iconic cocktails. Is there another way for people to see the breadth of where your product is available?
Our Find Us page is on my list. I need to
Okay.
update that for sure.
Yeah.
I do have a plan to go through and sort of on our social media do a shout out to like all of our local places that carry us and kind of like a little feature out on that.
Okay.
But the Find Us page should be the best place.
Okay.
It needs to be updated.
Yeah.
We're now distributed through Maverick Beverage. And honestly, we're in a lot of places that I'm not even fully
Aware of. Yeah.
It's like you hand your product over to somebody and then they go to town selling it, and they've done a great job.
Yeah.
But like I have to study our depletion reports and be like, oh, we're in there now. We're in there
Yeah.
now. So there's a mass update coming to the Find Us page.
Okay.
If I would say that we have a little like a chat bubble on our website.
Uh-huh.
I answer those.
Okay.
So if people are curious, they can always ask too. It's like, hey, I'm going to be in this area, or even just like, hey, name a few places, and I'm happy to do that. But yeah, the Find Us page needs to be updated.
Yeah.
Because it's rapidly changing.
Okay.
But it's somewhat up to date now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and people can go to your website, obviously, and
Yeah.
order it, like
Oh,
order it,
100%.
have it delivered.
Yeah.
You can go to Urbana, get it at Urbana.
Urbana's the best place to go. We have a lot of accounts, so I don't want to step on anyone else's toes. But
Sure.
Urbana, why we always recommend it, they order almost every single product we make.
Okay.
So it's really easy to recommend them because I
Yeah.
know almost 100% that whatever someone's looking for,
Sure.
they're going to have.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Anything else, man? Anything else? I mean, well, so what does the
Yeah.
future look like?
Yeah.
What are you looking to do with this?
I mean, so the biggest thing that we kicked around a lot of ideas, but I mean, the ready to drink space is really where we want to go.
Okay.
And try to figure out what that looks like. With opening up BLT for the summer, we're gonna really kind of look for feedback from people that are trying some of our ready to drink stuff, and like tell us honestly, just like we did the farmers market with the mixer, like, hey, what do you guys think of this? What do you,
Yeah.
we're gonna carbonate some are just gonna be like tea based, and so, I mean, we're gonna go like full spectrum, like let's see what we got and get some feedback, and then go down the road and like, ideally we'll get it canned up and we'll get it in, to people's hands that way.
Nice.
Something that you can drink that, doesn't have alcohol in it, but if you want to spike it, by all means.
Yeah.
That's kind of where we'd like to go, and then just keep growing, the distribution. So we sell in a gallon format for bars and restaurants and even coffee shops, which makes the price per ounce really great. for like on-premise stuff. Again, going back to my history as a bar manager,
Yeah.
I know how much things cost and
Yeah.
how you're always looking at the bottom line. So I'd like to continue to grow that. Texas, Colorado, New Mexico. I mean, our neighbors for sure, starting there, and but we have a really strong following in the East Coast for some reason. Upstate New
Nice.
York, the
Yeah.
Carolinas, even like Michigan and Wisconsin. We have a handful of like on-premise accounts that order from us as it is. So I'd like
Yeah.
to expand into those states a little bit. Things slow down in Arizona in the summer, so
Sure.
we've always said we need to get out of Arizona for the summer, both physically and with our products.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that's kind of the
absolutely.
plan, is to get out of Arizona a little bit.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Nice. Well, in Arizona, October 31st of this year, and then January 30th of 2027, Iconic Cocktail will be at our festivals.
Yeah.
Very
so
excited
much,
for that.
so much fun.
We love having you there, man.
It's so much fun.
Really
and,
do.
And the venue's great. I mean, being at Salt River is so
River
cool.
Fields, yeah.
I'm a huge baseball fan. Like,
Yeah.
that's like, if I could just, I wanted to just run and roll around in the grass. It's
I know.
Just, I'm a huge baseball fan. So to
Yeah.
be able to vend somewhere like that is just amazing for me for so many levels. But I love it. It's really cool. And
Yeah.
for people coming out, like, there's not too many places you can go to an event like that where like the bathrooms are legit,
Yeah,
the little
yes,
things, it's
for
like
sure.
everything's like, it's so well manicured and curated because it's a baseball stadium.
Yeah.
The parking's great. Like,
Parking's
everything,
right there.
everything's just ideal for that situation. I don't even know how you pulled it off, but to be able to be hosted there,
Yeah.
is really, really cool. So I mean, people that go out to these events, like, you're in for a treat if you haven't been, and if you've been, you know how great it is, and you're excited to come back, I'm sure.
I want to. There's a Uncorked, their wine festival that they have there every year. She has, like, for VIP, she has batting practice. I don't know if you've ever seen that. I want to add that to our festivals. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Be
awesome.
able to go down. I think you get like 10 pitches.
Okay.
Dude, I'm pretty sure I got a single.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Well,
I
that's-
whiffed the first few because like 60 mile an hour is faster than I think it is. Could you imagine 90?
I can't imagine. I'm watching. I mean, I watch a ton of baseball. I mean, watching guys get around on get around on it. So pull a 99 mile an hour fastball. I'm like, you swung the bat before the guy even thought about throwing the ball.
Yeah, for sure.
There's no way.
Yeah, that first pitch that I got, it was like I think they're throwing it like 60 or something like that. I'm like, Jesus, like, whoa, yeah.
It's insane.
But I felt like a pro. Like,
Yeah.
I cranked one over the shortstop.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nobody was there, but I don't care how tall he was.
In
it
your
was
mind,
getting over him.
in your
Yeah, for
mind,
sure. Yeah.
that went right over Ellie De La Cruz's head.
Yeah, exactly.
Look how tall he is.
Yeah, but no, Matt, we appreciate you being involved with what we do. We love having you there. You're a good dude doing awesome things. So we appreciate you, man.
Yeah, no, I love the invite, and you keep doing it, and I'll keep being up.
Sounds good, man.
Yeah.
Sounds good, buddy. All right, dude. Well, thanks for once again, thanks for Arizona Wilderness Miracle Mile. Special shout out to Frank. If you guys, like you said, there's many places you can get this. We don't want to, exclude anybody or whatever, but Arizona Wilderness, come get a mocktail with Iconic Cocktail.
It's a special place to try it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Thanks, man.
Thank you.